Target acquired. Destroy. Destroy. Destroy.
All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, dogs, cats, other pets, aliens, creatures of the night? Welcome to the first Hate Live podcast in a bajillion years. I mean, I can't even remember. I literally cannot remember the last time I did a podcast for you guys and gals here on the internet. Welcome to those who are watching live on Twitch. Also, welcome to those who are watching this on demand on my YouTube channel, The King of Hate Vlogs. Thank you for being here. And this should be a good one. The way it works is I used to do podcasts all the time. I was alternating between doing a podcast and then my Ask the King Q&A show roughly every other month, right? And this was a good formula that I had. But this was also a formula that I was doing back before kind of a lot of things changed. And what I mean by that is, last year, all the ad revenue fell out from under YouTube. And really, being someone who was just doing videos for YouTube didn't really pan out very well anymore. I had to change my style up to become more of a live streamer. And when I did that, basically, I had to formulate streams that were going to bring people and entertain people on a daily basis. And in general, gaming is what does that. So this year in particular, 2018, even though I did do my Q&A show, Ask the King, every other month, I really didn't do any podcasts at all because I was just so busy with the new games or filling, in with other gameplay streams and the like. Plus, the other thing is, every day I do a pre-stream. And really the pre-stream, which can last anywhere from as short as 20 minutes to as long as over an hour, depending on the day and what there is to talk about, ends up kind of being the daily vlog, the day I talk to people on the pre-stream, because I'm a more interactive streamer now. I sit here and I talk to you guys on the stream, and we answer your questions. It's like a podcast every morning when I'm starting up my stream. So essentially, there really hasn't been a need for a podcast like this in quite a long time. That being said, this podcast is very pertinent today. Because number one, I have not given you guys like a cumulative update on everything going on with me in quite some time. And I definitely want to do that. Okay? Number two, E3 is just ending today. Today's the final day of E3 2018. And I already covered all the press conferences, but what I want to do today is summarize all of that information about E3 in case you just want one digestible video or one digestible portion of a podcast rather than watching 6, recap videos and all of that. I'm going to try to tell you the best and worst of E3 2018 in my opinion, what I really liked, all topics that I'll talk about, and what I disliked and why. And now that E3 is coming to a close, we have a much better idea of the gaming landscape for the rest of 2018 and for early 2019. And what I want to do is run through all of the game releases that we now have solid release dates for. Keep in mind, there's many games we still don't have solid release dates for that I'm looking forward to. But that being said, it's a good idea to at least go through the things that we definitively have dates for. And so you guys can know what to expect. What are you going to see me streaming? What are you going to see me playing for the rest of 2018? You're going to get those answers today. Okay? And then I'm going to have a third, much more serious segment. This segment is going to be about a hot topic, something that a lot of people have been talking about in the world recently, and something that I personally have a lot that I feel I could talk about and add to it because I personally am affected by it. And the topic is depression. Okay? Now, this is going to be a very serious subject. No joking around or anything. Because a lot of people, I feel, in this modern era have misconceptions about what is depression, how does it affect people, how can you deal with and help people who have it and suffer from it? Why is it that we have celebrities who are filthy rich and world famous and they're actually committing suicide? I've actually seen some of the most nasty shit on social media in regards to depression in the past couple years. And as someone that has suffered from it and still suffers from it to this day, I just look at that and I'm like, there's someone who's so misinformed and they're lucky enough in their life to not have this debilitating disease and to not have that negativity in their life, and they just take everything they have for granted. And that pisses me off because there's some of us who deal with this shit on a daily basis and people don't know what we're going through, all right? So I want to have a very serious discussion about that at the end of the podcast. So it's going to be a fun show. Now, if I have time at the very, very end of the show, I would like to open up the show and do a Q&A segment with the stream chat. But I don't know if we're going to get to do that. Like right now, it's almost noon Pacific time. And in general, okay, in general, I have 3 to 4 hours to do a show. No lie, with the amount of topics that I have in this podcast, I'm almost thinking this may be my longest podcast I've ever done for the internet. I think the record I hold right now is around 3 hours and 30 minutes, but with the amount of topics to cover and the amount of detail I want to go into about a lot of the things that we're going to talk about on the show today, I'm honestly not sure how long the show is going to run. I guess we're going to play it by ear, okay? Now, if you're watching on stream, the way that I'm going to approach this show is I'm going to have it in segments. The first segment is this introduction right now, and it's going to be the stuff about me, stuff about how I'm doing personally, the business side, tax update, everything there about the future. Probably going to be about a half an hour or longer to talk about all that stuff and let you guys know how everything's going behind the scenes, okay? So if you're not interested in that segment, that's the opening segment. You probably just want to go take a dump or something. I don't know. And then I'm going to take a break. Then we're going to come back and do the E3 best and worst. Then I'm probably going to take another break. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to do the calendar run through where I go through the rest of 2018 and early 2019, going through all the game releases, telling you which ones I'm interested in covering and stuff like that. And then I'm probably going to take another break. And then we're going to have the depression segment. And then I'm probably going to take a final break. And then we'll come back and if there's time, do Q&A. All right. So there's a lot of breaks in between there. Apologies, but I want to break it up because what I'm going to do for YouTube is every segment I'm going to make a separate video. So rather than have a 4-hour video where you have to fucking go all through it to find the topics you want, you're going to have digestible portions on YouTube to watch, which is a better idea in my opinion. So, if you're watching this on demand on YouTube, on the King Hate Vlogs channel, this is just the intro segment with, personal stuff about me, and then there'll be future videos, coming out in just a few minutes probably, where you're going to see all the other topics. If you're watching on stream, welcome. I hope you guys are in and you have snacks and drinks. You're going to need it. It's going to be a long show, I think. Okay, there'll be a lot to talk about. All right. Also, as you can see, I have not really done this ever on a podcast before, but being that I am a live streamer now, I have to adjust with the time. People who cheer, sub, and tip, I will be giving shout-outs during the stream. I'm not necessarily going to interrupt everything I'm doing to give a shout-out, but I will be giving shout-outs when it is appropriate. And I do have a stream stats leaderboard above me that I'll be updating periodically. As you can see, running tally of subs on the channel on Twitch, the top cheerer, and the top tipper for the day. So thanks to Ostmink and Spawn Killer for your contributions so far, and to the people who have subbed. In fact, someone just subscribed if you saw the notification. Shout out to Naruto Pussy, Pussi, who just subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for the subscription. I appreciate that. Okay. And Arctic Surface, what's going on, man? He just cheered. He says, finally some time to watch your podcast. This should be good. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the cheer. All right, so we're going to get started, guys. I mean, we have so much to talk about. I think I should probably get started with the actual content now. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk 2018. Today is June 14th, 2018. We're just about halfway through the year, okay? And a lot's happened this year. A lot has happened. A lot of life-changing stuff, a lot of great positive stuff, some shitty stuff, but mostly I'd say great positive stuff has happened this year. And I want to share with you guys what's been going on with me, okay? First of all, before we even get to business and we get to all that shit, some people don't care about that anyway, and I understand that, but some people do, so I am going to cover it. Personally, how have things been going for me this year? Okay, well, the big life-changing thing that happened is that my girlfriend moved in with me, Kat, and she's been here since February, actually it was about mid-February. And so, 4 months she's lived with me. And honestly, at first, there was a big adjustment and transition because our schedules were not in line. She was getting ready to start her new job out here. And there was a big transitional period of about a month where we had to get her set for that. So we had to get her used to driving my car. We had to get her used to the area so she knew everything around here. We had to get her, clothing and appropriate things to prepare for her work and all of that. And, there was a transitional period also, us getting our schedules in line, right? One of the biggest things that I had to change this year is I've completely changed my streaming schedule because my old schedule was very odd. I had really odd hours where I was like, I wake up super late in the afternoon. I would stream that. I would be up till like way late at night, like sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning, no lie. And then I would, again, sleep in, oddly. They weren't even normal, like human fucking hours. They were very bizarre hours. And they didn't really make sense. For someone out here living on the west coast of the United States, I wasn't even having a schedule that made sense. Businesses out here, right, weren't in line with my schedule. And now living with someone, a significant other, who was going to have a normal kind of 9 to 5 schedule, I needed to change my life so that my life was in line with hers so we would have time to spend together. In general, things have been going great, all right? Some vast improvements have happened to my life since Kat became a part of it. Number one, just having her around to share my life with rather than being alone is a great asset. Having someone who you love and loves you back in the same manner, someone who you feel like really understands you and you understand them, even though you're not the same person and you have differences, right? The fact that we get along really well, and we have a lot of like minds in certain ways. For example, we both want this house to be something that we upkeep and we keep it clean and we keep it nice and we both care about the house, right? It's not like, the best way I could describe it is like sometimes you have a roommate who doesn't understand adult responsibility. And what I mean by that is like maybe one roommate really wants to keep everything clean and wants to have a set schedule and the other roommate doesn't. And so a person ends up taking up all the slack and doing all the work. It's very much the opposite with Kat and I. Like we sat down and we said, we want this to be a nice household, a clean house. Let's set it up so that we do this cleaning. I'll do this responsibility. You do that responsibility, right? And she is very much like me in the regard that if she sees stuff that's dirty or whatever, she'll get annoyed and want to clean it right away. I'm the same way. If I see a mess or if I see dirt on the floor, you know what I mean? Like I want to get clean. I don't want to just leave that and get to it when I get to it. I'm like, damn, I just got to drop everything and clean that shit. I don't know. It's probably my mom. Honestly, my mom ingrained that in my head because my mom is exactly the same way. So it's kind of the same deal. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing because I really do feel like we share responsibilities equally. Cooking, half the time I cook, half the time she cooks. Okay? So perfect example, a couple times this week I cooked. If we're going to do something quick and easy, I'll make us turkey burgers or I'll make us, hot dogs or sausages, stir fry. I could do a good Asian stir fry. I could do a good chicken fajitas. That's the kind of stuff that I can cook. But she is much better at cooking baked meals. She could bake us a pork loin or bake us some slow roast chicken, stuff like that. She's made some amazing dishes since she moved in here. I couldn't even believe it. Like about a month ago, she made curry. I've never had curry in my life. Homemade curry. She made curry. It was amazing. Mouth-watering, pork pieces in with potatoes and rice and other stuff. It was amazing. I was like, this is crazy. Opened a whole new world of cuisine and stuff. But since she moved in, which is really awesome. So that's the thing. But sharing the responsibility. I know a lot of people always ask me, Phil, how do you make a relationship work? Share the responsibility. Don't put all of something on one person. Be willing to help. Be willing to break up the responsibility so that way it's not, oh, that one thing didn't get done. Shame on you for not doing that. No, it should be, okay, well, if you can't do it, then I'll do it. I'll pick up the slack. Going hand in hand, helping each other out. That's how stuff works. And so this year in particular, not to say that you're going to be able to see it, I lost weight, okay? Last year, my stomach was out to about here. Look. You see? I lost weight. I lost at least 10 pounds since she's moved in because I'm not eating shitty food anymore. I'm not eating shitty TV dinners and I'm not going out and eating fast food anymore. I actually lost a bunch of weight because she's been making us healthier meals, which is great. Pretty cool, right? And like I said, mentally, I'm much better off. Last year, real talk, you guys know how bad last year was for me. I've told you guys multiple times. I think it was one of the worst, if not the worst year of my life. This year's been so different. Having her around has been such a positive experience. She's incredibly supportive. She supports everything I do. Work, I could talk to her about my work, and she cares and wants to hear about it and wants to know about what's going on. And that's awesome to have a supportive personality. And vice versa. When she comes home from work, if she needs to bitch, I let her and she vents. And, it's great. That is how a good, meaningful relationship works, is when the two people can vent, but realize when you vent not to blame the other person, you're just getting the pent-up frustration out. And once it's out, you feel so much better. Sadly, there are some people who take it out on the other person if they had a pissy day at work. There's a difference between venting and taking it out on that person, right? So it's been great. I mean, really, real talk has been great. If anything, the one thing that I don't like, we don't get to spend as much time together as I wish we could. So I'll give you an example of a typical rundown of our day. All right. First of all, by the time I wake up, she's out the door. So I'm usually waking up between 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 a.m. She's gone. She's already on her way to work or at work. Okay. I get up. I have like a breakfast some days. Some days I don't. I work on getting my stream up and running. I stream. While I'm streaming, typically, by the time I'm finishing my first stream, she's arriving back home. Sometimes she gets home a little bit earlier. Sometimes she gets home a little bit later, depending on the workload. And then we decide, it's dinner time, right? So I'm streaming roughly from 10 a.m. to like 4 p.m. dinner time. So one of us makes dinner. We have a nice dinner together. We clean up, and then typically we have maybe a half an hour to an hour to spend together. It depends, because some days I have to shower or something, and I have to get out of the way before the next stream. So it depends. But we usually get a little bit of time together then to spend. Then I do my second gameplay stream of the day, which usually typically runs from around 6:15 to say 9 p.m. I usually get out of the office by like 9:30, but now she has to get to bed because she has work in the morning. So I get to see her another maybe half an hour to hour. So in a day, two people who live together, I see her for like 2 hours tops in a best scenario day, which sucks. That's shitty, You think, man, she moved in with Phil. They must spend all this time together. We barely get any time. We're both working adults, and we have, these careers we're working on, and we have a lot of time that we put into them. So because of that, you get frustrated sometimes. I don't get to see her as much as I want. She doesn't get to see me as much as she wants. But for us, all right, the great day is the day when we get to spend together once a week. Our day off that I take, per se, is amazing. We get up. Oh my God, we actually woke up together. Can you believe it? We've woken up together today. Sometimes we either have a breakfast we make together, or we actually get to go out and have a breakfast together somewhere. And then we have a bunch of stuff typically we have to do, errands or the like that we have to run. But the thing is, we have fun doing it together because we're actually getting to do everything together. So we do everything. Our shopping, errands and chores, or things we need to pick up for around the house, but also grocery shopping and stuff like that. And then we try to have fun. Sometimes we go to the mall, we'll do window shopping. Do we have a lot of money to spend? No, we don't. But even just doing little things, like for example, when I took my time off a month ago, we set up the backyard. We got a very inexpensive outdoor rug that we put down. We got a couple inexpensive bird feeders. We didn't go crazy, $50, $70. We got one that's like $20. And we got some nice bird feeders. And we set it up with a string of like outdoor lights so you can see out there at night. And every morning now, we wake up and we have beautiful animals coming into our backyard, coming to get like birds. So we have beautiful birds, squirrels. There's actually a family of wild rabbits, the two parents, and a little baby bunny that come by and eat, because we have like a mix of food. It's like peanuts and like corn and stuff. They come by and eat it every morning. It's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, I've lived here for 4 fucking years, and I never took advantage of any of the shit that was around me because I had my head so in my work, right, that I never, like an ostrich, I had my head in the ground in my work. I never popped my head out to look around and see how amazing it actually is out here. So that's what I mean. It's just those little kind of things that we do on our day off makes things so much better. Sometimes, admittedly, sometimes we don't have a lot of fun and we end up doing more kind of like cleaning the house. But even then, being there together and doing it together and saying this is a time investment for our life together, right? It's meaningful. And that's a cool thing. So just for me personally, the biggest thing that's changed in my life this year has been Kat moving in with me. And it's been an amazing thing. Now, as you guys have seen, you haven't seen much of it at all. It's not really the opposite. You haven't seen much of any of the things that I've described. In the past, if this were me 5, 6, 7 years ago, you would have seen all of that vlogged and documented, and it would have been videos all over the internet for money. We personally sat down when she moved in, and we said, how are we going to approach our life together? And this was a very serious discussion because, like I said, previous relationships I've had, friendships I've had, have all been full documented for the internet. And I hate to say it, at a time that was positive, and then it turned into toxicity and negativity. It really did. It got to the point where everything that I would put on the internet that was a personal subject and wasn't about gaming was micro-analyzed, was over-dramatized, and was turned into something gross and negative. And it would just lead to people trolling and insulting and flaming and spreading slander and spreading all kinds of defamatory shit about myself, other people I was in relationships with, my friends, my family, all that shit. To the point where it just became so toxic I couldn't take it anymore, right? And the bottom line is, moving into a new relationship with Kat, I did not want our life together to be jeopardized for the sake of making extra money. I said, putting vlogs out on the internet was nice at one point, but as I saw YouTube become increasingly more toxic and disgusting, I saw that actually it hurt more than helped. You know, there was one time when I would go on a trip or a vacation and I would vlog everything and I would put it on the internet and the videos would get thousands of views. People would have all these positive comments. Thanks for sharing your personal time together with us, everyone. This is great. Then 2-3 years later, I would do the same exact thing. Go on a trip and document it. Fuck you, Phil. You say that you need money and you're on a trip. Go to hell, you're a piece of shit, you're ugly, you know, your significant other's ugly, fuck this, fuck that. Nasty, disgusting, toxic shit. And that was the majority of the comments on the videos. I was like, then why am I bothering with this shit, right? Why would I bother putting out the vlogs if people are just going to be disgusting, right? And the same thing with Instagram and all the like. You know, I used to, whenever I went, take Instagram photos and share them with little quips and comments and stuff on social media. I've barely used my Instagram in the past like 4 months at all. I kind of stopped using it because I found that was a avenue for people to be negative and toxic, okay? And I don't want that toxicity to seep into my relationship with Kat. Kat is a person who very much did not have much of a public presence. Yes, there was a very short period of time where she tried live streaming and doing stuff like that on YouTube, and then it all ended and she never did it again. And she doesn't have an internet presence. She doesn't have social media that she uses, even though people found her old accounts that she hasn't used in over a year. You know, she doesn't have that, and she doesn't want that because she knows if it happened, if she got a Twitter, if she started recording gameplay for the internet, which she likes, she would probably love to do Overwatch and stuff like that. Immediately, all it would be negativity and attacks and disgusting shit against her, and she doesn't deserve it. She's not a person who has any public presence. She's never insulted a single person or said anything inflammatory, and the few pictures of her that we've put out on the internet, I mean, there's been like 5, I think. Every picture is insults about her looks, personal insult, disgusting, vile, gross shit. And it's like, she doesn't fucking deserve that. Just because she's going out with me, she has to have this disgusting shit happen to her. It's nasty. And, you know, there was a time when a lot of people said, you know, the things that happened to Phil, he deserves. The past couple of years, there's been a flip. Public opinion, when an outsider sees me, they're like, why do people hate Phil so much? And they look at my stuff, they're like, I don't know, maybe in the past he did nasty stuff, but the past 2 years, Phil's been good. Yeah, he's not doing anything inflammatory or anything bad to the regard where he should be getting this kind of real negativity thrown towards him. So why is it that people still do this nasty shit to him all the time? And the answer is, I don't know. It just becomes, these people have become like, this is what they do, so they just keep doing it. So here's Kat, someone comes along, has nothing to do with anything in my past, and people are attacking her already. And it's like, get the fuck out of here, you know? So in that regard, that's why you guys have not seen a lot of our personal life shared, you know? Anything that you see of me is me on stream talking about games, talking about, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, and I won't let the personal stuff seep into my online life because I don't want the online life to then seep into the personal. You see what I mean? So I do want to apologize to all of you who maybe used to be so used to me sharing personal stuff with you on a daily basis. I would share all the stuff that I would be doing with my friends and my significant other and my family and everything, and that's all kind of going away. And it's for a purpose. It's because, you know, when it gets to the point where you get swatted, where other family members who have nothing to do with you get swatted, where people are finding out personal information about my parents and about my other family members, and they're contacting them and saying nasty shit, you know, just vile, gross stuff. That's where it has to stop, and that's where I draw the fucking line, you know? And, you know, I hate to say it, but the truth of the matter is I really do feel that previous relationships and friendships of mine, very public ones, ended because of the toxicity of me being an internet personality. I 100% believe that the reason that friendships and relationships have ended the way they did is because people got fed up with the toxicity and negativity of having me be on the internet constantly and having that shit thrown at them constantly, and they chose to do something different for their sake of their own well-being and sanity rather than to continue their relationship with me. And that's the truth of the matter. And that's why I cannot let that affect, you know, the love that Kat and I have for each other. I can't. And that's why I have done everything I possibly can to stop that. Okay? So there you go. All right. That's the personal side of things, guys. Personally, things have been going really good this year. I get so much support from Kat. I support her. We have a loving relationship behind the scenes of everything. Everything's hunky-dory. Like I said, I lost weight. And everything's good. You know, things are really good in the personal side of stuff. But, now let's talk business. how's business going? I haven't really talked about business in a while. Well, realistically, YouTube is kind of about what it was last year. I would say this month in particular seems a little bit down from what it was last year. The thing about YouTube is that YouTube will fluctuate depending on what's going on in the realm of gaming. So if you get a month with a ton of huge high-profile new releases, YouTube views will go up and I'll make more money. All right? In a month where it's dead and there's almost nothing new, YouTube revenue will go down, views will go down, right? Everything goes down. That's how it's always been with YouTube. So in particular, 2017, early on in the year, the first half of 2017, was jam-packed with hot, high-profile new releases. Not to say that all of them turned out good, but there were so many games that people wanted to see me cover that viewership was up and money was up. This year, not so much. As you guys know, the first 3 months of this year were like so fucking dead. It wasn't until April where we really started getting high-profile games for me to cover. So it took a while, but now things are on the up and up. In general, my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming, is bringing in between 1 to 2 million views a month, which is on par with what's to be expected. It's been for like 2-3 years now. Revenue is steady, which is good. Revenue is steady. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, but in general, I kind of know what I'm going to bring in on YouTube on a monthly basis, all right? Would I like it to be better? Of course I would. Of course I would. I mean, you always want it to be better, but the bottom line is I can't really do anything about it. When I try to branch out and do different things, like remember when I did KO Gaming 2 years ago, and I changed up from being just doing raw gameplay to doing these highly edited, more professional looking reviews, that channel took off, and I made a ton of money on it, and then YouTube changed something and demonetized all the videos on the channel, and the channel now makes $8 a month. I mean, I don't put new videos out on it anyway, but, you know, that channel went from making me, at one point, it made me thousands of dollars in a month to $8 a month because they've demonetized every video on the channel, limited or no ads. So I don't really focus, you guys know that. I don't focus on YouTube anymore. I don't feel the need to focus on YouTube because focusing on YouTube is a waste of my time. If I were to put time, effort, and money into making video series exclusively for YouTube, number one, demonetization. Number two, don't show up in search results. Number three, other fucked up stuff that happens with YouTube all the time. So why am I going to work my ass off when YouTube doesn't support content creators? And I'm sorry, but I just hate to say that's how I feel about YouTube. They do not support people who use their website. They don't. They don't care about it. All they want is a website that generates revenue. They don't care who you are, if you get screwed over. They don't feel responsibility for when they screw something up with a new algorithm or a new search change or whatever. They take no responsibility whatsoever. They just say, oh, well, it is what it is. Deal with it. And that's not a business that I want to deal with for my livelihood anymore. You know, for since 2011 to 2017, I did. And I had enough. Last year, that was like when the bubble broke. I was like, I can't take it anymore. I can't have a business that's going to have halved, you know, revenue. And now I can't make a living doing it because they fucked up on their end and they admit no responsibility and don't do anything to help anybody out. I just had enough, okay? So, YouTube is what it is, all right? My vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, brings in almost nothing. I'm not even kidding. I would be lucky if in a good month, the vlogging channel makes me $100 for the whole month. Okay. Now, admittedly, I have cut down on vlogging a ton. I don't do DSP Tries It anymore. Why? Because as I showed you guys, I lost weight. I don't even eat fast food that often anymore. So since I don't do the fast food thing, there's nothing to do for DSP Tries It. So that series is pretty much on hiatus. Really, the only things you see on my vlogging channel are Ask the King, which is my Q&A show I do every other month. Podcasts like this, which I don't do that often anymore. Every once a week, I do the Week in Preview. Okay. And then if there's a special vlog, I'll put it out. And that's it. So only doing 1 to 2 videos a week, you know, isn't going to bring in a lot of revenue. And I'm not surprised that I don't make any money really doing the vlogging anymore. On the flip side of that, half the time I upload a vlog, it gets demonetized. You know, so it's not like I can make money doing it anyway. Even if I worked my ass off doing vlogging. Like I said, when I was actively doing DSP Tries It, I was bringing in 10 to 15,000 views on some of these videos and making like $4 profit. So that should just give you some idea how bad it is, okay? By the way, let's do a couple shout-outs. Before we move on, because I want to talk about Twitch now, okay? Aaron PC did a 100-bit cheer. He said, I just had my girlfriend move into my place, and I agree 100% sharing responsibility is the only way to living with a significant other that works. There needs to be maturity on both sides. Love living with her. Glad you got that right. Absolutely 1,000,000%. You need to have maturity on both sides. You can't have one person who wants one thing and another person who wants another thing because it won't work, you know? And you have to be sure that when someone says something, they mean it. because there could be a situation where, oh, we agree to this, and then within a month it all falls apart, okay? The big TJ Leet just cheered. He says, the overanalysis on your personal life, I believe, is one of the reasons people got sick of the ones who don't like you. At least that's true for me. Yeah, I mean, there were people who made a living. I'm not even kidding you. All they did on the internet, the only reason they had any notoriety on the internet is because they overanalyzed my personal life. And they would say the most ridiculous fucking things. And, you know, I would put a picture of something I saw at the mall on Instagram, and it would be massively overanalyzed and dissected in an hour-long podcast. It's a fucking picture on Instagram. You see what I mean? But this is what these people were doing. And so, you know, in the last year, I really do think a lot of these people who had a lot of popularity are kind of finally falling out of favor with the mainstream viewers because they realize how sick this shit is. However, the sad part is there's still thousands of people who are that fucked up in the head that they think that stuff's normal and acceptable. Last Rambo cheered. He says, DSP tries it should not be restricted to just fast food. I agree, Last Rambo, but at the same time, I don't have money and time to be putting into other products. You know what I mean? Do a subscription box, Phil. The subscription box costs $30 a month for a snack box for snacks I'm not going to eat, and the video makes $4. See what I mean? Anonymosaurus Rex cheered. He said, shout out to Derek, who says, I moved my girlfriend into my house, but she's a Barbie. So we're in a Barbie house. And shout out to YOLO Dopper. He says, I'm glad things are working out for you. I think going offline for the relationship would work good, but I think you can still open up instead of doing a total 180 by showing nothing. You got to be careful. You have to. Because what's to say that we do open up a tiny bit, and the next thing you know, here's the next negative bullshit meme on the internet, and everyone believes it. You know what I mean? And again, for her, it's not fair to her to have to put up with any kind of bullshit or negativity because she's going out with me, right? It's not fair. Especially because how supportive and how loving she is to me. The fact that she would have to put up with nasty attacks and shit. You know, and some people are like, oh, whatever, tough skin. You know, it gets to some people. She's not someone who's had a big internet personality and has thick skin. You know, when she sees nasty comments, it could get to her. And I don't want her to be subject to that. So, all right, let's continue on. Let's now talk about Twitch. How has Twitch been going for me this year? Well, I'll be honest with you guys. The second half of 2017 was great. And in fact, the end of 2017 was amazing. I had more viewers, giant amounts of support. People were coming out and cheering Subbing and Tipping in droves near the end of 2017 and early 2018. It did die down some. February, March, April in particular. Why? Because guess what? There were no good games. Like I said, it was such a dead time. Those 3 months were so dead, where there was almost next to nothing going on, right? That there just was no real reason for me to get any kind of great positive attention outside of my hardcore fan base. Now, my hardcore fan base ends up being very supportive. And I want to say thank you to any of you who hung in there during, you know, months when it's dead or when there's not a lot of high profile stuff going on. I understand, but I think a lot of you have figured out now that just coming by my streams and hanging out is more of a social aspect. You can hang out with people you know. It's a cool, positive vibe. We don't let the shit drama come in anymore. We've done a really good job of keeping that shit off the streams, and me not addressing it has made the streams way better, in my opinion, in 2018, okay? So, you know, that being said, the positivity is at an all-time high. No matter what I play, I have fun. Even if it's a game I don't like, even if I rage at it a bit, I still get to see that people like to see my honest reactions, and that's a cool thing. And the fact that, I mean, I'll also be honest with you guys. Twitch's change to their terms of service has maybe toned stuff down a bit, and honestly, I think it may be for the better. All right? And the reason being, I used to be a guy that on the cuff would just explode. And a lot of people like that, don't get me wrong. That's kind of where I got a lot of my notoriety on YouTube back in the day. But just to get angry, so angry, and immediately I'm just saying the most ridiculous inflammatory statements about other people playing games, about game developers, and about this and that. You know, comes a time when you have to mature up a little bit. And even though I realize that that's entertaining stuff, you know, when Twitch's terms of service are saying you got to watch what you say because if you actively insult someone, you know, you can get suspended from and lose your Twitch streaming ability, I've kind of had to look at my product and take a step back and say, okay, let's evaluate what I'm doing on a stream on a daily basis and try to put out a little bit. Now, by the way, I'm certainly not saying that I'm going to completely censor myself or be dishonest with you guys. I'm not. You know, real talk, I'm never going to change in that regard. I pride myself on being someone that is opinionated, that has these definite stances on certain things, and I'm going to stick up for those stances, even if, you know, a lot of people disagree with me. And I'm going to be an independent guy that's not a paid shill, that's here to play a game just because I'm getting paid for it, and I have to kiss the game's ass, constantly. I'm not going to get a pre-release copy of the game and then have to censor what I say about the game because there's a review embargo a couple days in the future. I'm not like that. When you watch me on a stream, you're getting pure, unadulterated Phil. You're getting out of me my pure, opinion on the matter. I may have had to tone down my language and how extreme I get to in my, what's the word? Hyperbole. In my hyperbole of how I talk about my opinion. But for the most part, it's pure Phil. You're getting the real deal. You're not getting the fake acting Phil. You're not getting a Muppet, like I like to call some other streamers who, they overact for the camera, they have the dyed hair, and they have to be this certain stereotype to make money from kids. I'm not like that, and you guys know that. For 10 years, I've prided myself on being the real me, not some bullshit character to make money, all right? So I certainly hope that you guys get that, all right, when you watch my streams. And in general, I've noticed this year, overall, my stream attendance is higher than it was. I'm actually getting more average viewers per stream than I did previously. My followers are up. My subs in general are up. Now, don't get me wrong. My subscribers go up and down. In fact, the highest I've ever had, I think, was like 560 something. But that happened during the Christmas time when there was a discount on subs and gifted subs. And a lot of people came out and were super generous and were gifting subs left and right. I had like at one point almost 200 gifted subs, okay? So my subs have been down to as low as like 390. But in general, the amount of support I get on the streams is great. Cheering, subbing, tipping, I can't complain. In general, most days you guys are very generous, okay? And, I'm doing good in that regard. And even in particular, there's been a few times when things have been, oh my God, I'm in a situation now where I just had to pay all my state taxes. I have no money in my bank account and I got bills coming due. You guys have come out to support me with tips and stuff to make sure that I don't overdraw my account. You guys have been amazing. I cannot say a single word of criticism or complaint towards my viewership. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. You come out, you support, you enjoy the content I'm putting out. And all I can say is 2 thumbs up to you guys. Thank you very much for all the support that you give me. All right. But what I want to talk about now is kind of flip it into how am I doing in regards to the impending financial things that have been going on behind the scenes, because a lot of people ask me these questions. All right. But I got to do some shout outs first. So let's see here. Shout out to Aaron PC, who cheered. He says, I'm sure allowing people to send you items to review could be a good way to add more content besides fast food, free on your part, fan interaction on our end. Hey, I'm okay with that. Like, I actually said this on the pre-stream today. Someone asked me, do I have a P.O. box or whatever? I'm open to people sending me stuff as long as you screen it with me first. So send me an email, darksidephil@hotmail.com. Phil, I'm interested in sending this to you if you want to review it for a video. Cool, let's have a discussion about it. And if it's something that I think I could do a cool video on, I'll let you know. I'm open to that. I always have been open to that, okay? Call me Thick Daddy. Cheered. He says, Phil took a picture of The Rock. Equates to, it must be one of the weapons Phil uses to beat up 1,000 children. Yeah, I know. Ridiculous, right? I play a game, and a kid insults me. I didn't even do anything wrong. The kid insults me. I make a sly comment about, man, if that was a kid, a parent should discipline that kid, slap him or whatever. All of a sudden, Phil is an abuser of children who wants to beat up children and threaten a kid online. None of that happened, right? But let's just over-exaggerate every little thing Phil does. So can you imagine if I was sharing stuff from my personal life, I took a picture of my kitchen, and someone finds that there's a new spatula? Where did Phil get the money for that new spatula? I bet that cost several dollars, and unfucking believable, these people. YOLO Dopper cheered. He says, I can't believe KO Gaming ad revenue is so abysmal. You can only make $8 a month. I think the CPM is too low to motivate anyone to make edited videos. Keep in mind, when I launched KO Gaming before YouTube demonetized the channel, all right, that channel, like I told you, 1 month, I actually made thousands of dollars. That was the month when I released the review of Homefront: The Revolution, and it got 1 million views. So I made a lot of money. But YouTube demonetized it last year. Every video I upload to that channel loses all the ads. So I make no money on the channel. William cheered. He says, are you worried people will think your Mario Tennis opinions could be compromised since you're getting an eShop code for it instead of spending your own money? Nintendo fans seem upset with your anti-Nintendo thoughts of late. First of all, I don't have anti-Nintendo thoughts. I criticize Nintendo just like I criticize everybody else, but the Nintendo fans are the ones who are so sensitive that I would criticize their beloved game company that they say I'm some kind of an anti-Nintendo guy. I'm wearing a fucking Nintendo shirt. I've said how many times over the years SNES has always been my favorite game console and my favorite era of gaming. Some of my favorite games ever are Nintendo games, and last year's Game of the Year pick was Super Mario Odyssey, but I'm a Nintendo hater. Listen, Mario Tennis is not a game that I'm taking super seriously. I'm going to play it at face value, do a few fun streams of it, and if people like it, keep playing it. If not, I'm not going to judge it. I probably won't even review it, because why am I going to review a game? Number one, I'm not into tennis, and number two, I wasn't going to play the game to regard it. It'll probably be a game just for fun streaming and not a serious business. So don't worry, I'm not going to play Mario Tennis and then rate it 3 out of 10 and pan the game and even infuriate the fucking Nintendo fanboys even further. Anonysaurus Rex says, can I send you DDP Yoga to review? I have it. I've told you a million times I have DDP Yoga. King of Hypocrisy. Cheered, he says, do you ever look at crazy conspiracy theories about you and your girlfriend and shake your head? After the escort saga, it's hard to believe that people make this stuff seriously. The bottom line is, at this point, people will do anything for attention. It's that simple. There are people who can only get attention. There's people, they try to do their own streams, they try to make their own videos, and they can't get 100 people. But then they restream my shit illegally and do drama comments or insulting comments over it, commentary, and they can get 1,000 viewers, you know? But that's it. Drama, garbage content for immature people is all the rave on the internet right now, and there's no police. You know, there's no internet police to take care of that shit. So right now, it's allowed. It's like the Wild West of the internet. So it sucks, but that's the reality, is that no matter what I do, people can turn it into crazy shit. And I know that, which is why I have not revealed much about my personal relationship with Kat. Okay, so now, let's continue. Let's talk about the business side of stuff behind the scenes of YouTube and Twitch, okay? Behind the scenes of the support that you guys have given me this year, what's going on? As you guys know, financially, things have not been good for me. Actually, things were financially good for me about the fall of last year. And then all of a sudden, I got the call, actually it was a letter, saying that I owed a ridiculous amount of money in back taxes to the state of Washington because I had never filed properly. Apparently, my tax attorney had never done my taxes properly in at that point, it was 3 years that I had lived here. And I needed to sort all this out. So immediately I had to dump my old tax attorney, get a new one who was way more expensive. I had to get them to do all this research into how much money I made and how much I actually owe the state of Washington. At the end of the year, I had one big amount due, and you guys significantly helped me with that. At the end of last year, you guys rallied and helped me to pay that off in January. And also, you helped me to pay the cost of my tax attorney. Because I mean, no lie, my tax attorney, I paid the tax attorney just about as much as I paid the state. I paid the state, you know, over $1,000 went to the state and over $1,000 went to the tax attorney. I can't give you exact figures, obviously, but it was pretty bad, okay? And that was money I didn't have. And I was supposed to come up with it out of nowhere. You guys supported the hell out of me last year and got me through that, okay? But this year, I've had these looming problems. So first of all, because you guys were so supportive of me last year, I had a big increase in income at the end of the year, which means now I owed more to the federal government for their taxes. And now I had to come up with that money. So I had a big chunk of money I needed to come up with by April, okay, to pay the feds. Then, as I was in the process of raising the money to pay the feds, the state of Washington came to me and said, all right, well, you got caught up with what you owe currently, but you still owe us this giant chunk of back taxes for the years you didn't pay your taxes. And so they said, well, we have to calculate how much that is and tell you how much that is. They finally told me about a month ago, and my jaw went, bah. I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of fucking money, and I don't have it, you know? And I basically scrounged, I penny pinched, I sold some stuff, I called in every possible fucking favor that I could possibly have under the sun, all right? And what I can tell you now, as of today, finally, I am caught up on my state taxes. My state taxes are 100% paid. I no longer have any back taxes owed to the state of Washington. All right. So I'm in a good position, state tax-wise. I'm looking great. They think no problems. I'm an properly operating business here in the state. Yes, I had to register as a business, and I'm paying taxes actively now to the state of Washington. Okay. So that being said, I'm good in that regard. That's the good news, okay? That's good news to everyone. State of Washington taxes, I'm good. I will owe taxes every year at the end of the year. I don't think it'll be a problem because at the end of the year, I always see an increase in revenue at the end of the year anyway with all the games and the big ad profit you get on YouTube and everything at the end of the year. So I think I'm going to be okay in that regard, all right? However, here we go. As I was dealing with the back federal taxes that I owed, and as I was dealing with the back state taxes that I, excuse me, frog in my throat, the back state taxes that I owed, well, guess what? Time kept moving. Time didn't fucking suspend. And the way, if you guys don't know, the way that taxes work when you're self-employed in the United States is very complicated. It's not like if you have a 9-to-5 job, you just take taxes out of every paycheck you have and you're done, right? Well, number one, I don't get a paycheck. I just get money that's sent to me from various companies, right? There's no page stub that I get or anything. I just get money sent to my bank account, right? So that's number one. Number two, every single month I make different amounts of money. One month may be way high because ad revenue was up and there were a bunch of popular games and my views were up. One month it may go way low, right? One month you guys are very generous with your subs and tips, and one month for whatever reason it's slow and it goes down. So my money's like this that I make every month. Therefore, there's no way to tell how much tax you actually owe anyway. So the way that they do it is, or the way that my tax attorney does it, and you're supposed to do it if you're self-employed, you look at an estimate of what you made the year before. So what my attorney did, he looked at 2017, what did Phil make? How much money? Okay, for every various source, and he does his complicated computations and everything, and he comes up with an estimate. How much tax should Phil pay for 2018 if, assuming Phil makes the same amount of money in 2018 that he did in 2017? So it's all based on guesses. There's no way to actually tell what I owe because it's all based on guesswork, all right? However, the fucked up thing about the way it works, the government just expects you to have the money right away. Like, wait a minute. I just had to pay back federal taxes. I just had this issue with state taxes. I had to pay all these taxes, so all my money's gone. Oh, the federal government wants you now to start paying your taxes too for this year. Huh? That's not how life works. It's not like I made a ginormous chunk of money in January that I can now pay all these taxes. You know what I mean? And I reaccumulate it over the course of the year. That's not how life works, but that's how the government thinks it works, okay? So, in April, when I was paying my back federal taxes, and I emptied my bank account to pay them, they wanted me to pay a giant sum of several thousands of dollars in taxes that I didn't have. So I didn't pay it. And there's nothing I could do about it. This week, the federal government, even though I just spent all my money to pay my back state taxes and get me current, okay, the federal government wants me to make another payment of several $1,000s. I don't have it. I can't pay it. So right now, as of this week, I'm actually behind 2 payments. 50% of the taxes that I owe for this year, I haven't paid, and it's considered now in arrears or late. And what's happening is there's going to be late fees associated with this because I didn't pay them on time per the federal government. All right. It's not realistic. The way the federal government expects self-employed people to pay their money or pay their taxes is not realistic at all. If anything happens where your business has a high or a low, your taxes change and you did it wrong. Huh? How? So because a tax attorney screwed me over and for 3 years didn't pay my state taxes properly, and I had to find the money to pay that, the federal government says, we don't care about any of that. We just want you to keep giving us money anyway. Huh? You know, see what I mean? That's not how life works, but that's what they want. So right now, I am. Half the year, half of 2018 has passed, and half the year I've paid no federal taxes. Now, it's so weird the way it works, okay? They're going to expect me again to pay another payment in September and another payment by the end of the year. And then the way it really works is that anything I didn't properly pay during the year is considered due in full next April when I file my taxes again, okay? So in reality, if you're self-employed in the United States, you don't have to pay any taxes all year as long as you pay what you owe in full by the next tax day, which is in April. You're okay, but if you do it that way, you have to pay big, like not big fees, but there's late fees and stuff like that. So there's some people who just say, fuck this. I'm not going to do an estimated bullshit payments. I'm just going to pay you one amount, whatever I owe next year. Fuck it. I don't care if I pay late fees or not. So in essence, okay, I don't have to pay any taxes until April of next year. However, it makes sense if I do. If I have money that I have, I got to put it towards the taxes because it'll save me from paying late fees and stuff, okay? So, the good news is, right now, YouTube is going okay. It's not great, it's not bad, it's okay. Twitch is going pretty good and growing every month, all right? And in a moment, I'm going to talk to you about my future plans, what I really want to do with everything here. State tax issue is actually officially finally fucking done with. Finally. It took almost a year to clear this shit up, and I literally had to call in every favor I had. I had to borrow money. I had to fucking sell stuff, but I paid off the state taxes. I'm okay in that regard. Finally, it's a non-issue. But now the federal tax is something looming on my mind. This is what I mean. Like, for me, it's always, what's the next fucking thing that's going to kill me, right? And for me, right now, I'm in a situation where I know I'm behind on taxes. I don't have the money for them. What I have to hope is that this year, things keep going good on YouTube, things keep going good on Twitch, and I raise enough money that by the end of the year, I can pay as much tax as I can, and hopefully I get that big boom like I did last year near the end of the year that'll help me with the state tax payment that's due at the end of the year, and then help me save some more for the federal, and by April of next year, I have enough to pay all the federal. I hope. Knock on wood, fingers crossed, toes fucking crossed, like every possible thing I can do here, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. And if you end up being behind on federal taxes, that's when you get fucked. The IRS will fuck your ass. They will bend you over and find every which way to put liens on your stuff. They will screw you over. So I definitely need to find a way, all right, to pay these taxes by next April. I hope things keep going the way that they're going, all right? I hope that I can keep things positive. I hope you guys keep enjoying the streams and coming out. I hope my Twitch continues to grow and everything goes positively. All right. Now, what do I want to do with my business in the rest of the year and moving forward? What I want to do is grow my Twitch. And what I want to do is make my Twitch a better place for people to come hang out and have fun. And I think I've done a good job of that this year. The feedback I've received in general from my viewership is that people enjoy my streams. They think it's a safer place. There's not drama anymore. There's not a lot of trolling attacks and stuff like that. That I've done a great job of basically just making things happen and be positive. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, okay? And so that's good. And I hope that if I can keep putting out entertaining streams and fun content for you guys, the viewership will continue to rise. Support with cheers, subs, and tips will continue to grow like it has. And I can have a more consistent viewership no matter what game I play. Because the bottom line is every time I play a new game, of course we get that artificial inflation. But I wanted that no matter what I play, you guys like me and you come out to hang out with me. It's more a social thing as well as gaming rather than just you're here for the game. You see what I mean? Going hand in hand with that, what I've noticed is that people like it when I'm not just playing games. Last week, I did what was considered an IRL stream, okay? And people seem to really like it. Me just hanging out and talking with them and shooting the shit. People were very supportive, and it was a fun stream. Regardless of the fact the reason I did it was because of drama, because of DSP Gaming supposedly getting suspended. It seemed to be a fun stream. People really enjoyed it. I'm not against the idea of doing more streams where I just hang out with you guys and talk, okay? If that's what people want. But at the same time, I got to be careful that I don't talk controversial topics. We don't bring drama. I'm not violating Twitch's terms of service with the things that we talk about. And also another thing I probably will never do, and this is being realistic, is take this phone and use the Twitch app to broadcast myself in real life. More than likely, I'll never do it because, again, I'm trying to separate my real life, personal relationship and stuff from the internet presence. And I'll be honest, I'm very afraid that if the second I take this fucking phone out and I start showing stuff that I'm doing in person, it's just going to open up the trolling floodgates again. You're going to have people trying to fuck with me, going to the places that I go to. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have any of that. I just can't. I need to have a private life that I can have a good, positive, meaningful life with Kat, and I need to have a business work life where I can have interaction with you guys and have them be separate and not have it constantly be fucking flooding into each other and just ruining everything. All right. And I hope you guys understand that and appreciate that. So I'm willing to go above and beyond when it comes to stuff I do on stream here, as long as it's not something that will be intrusive with my real life. So if you guys have suggestions, what are some things that Phil can do that he doesn't currently do that we feel would be fun to do on stream? It would help him grow his streams and allow to get more viewership and the like. I'm all ears, but become Ice Poseidon and go do IRL streaming everywhere you fucking go with your phone is not a valid suggestion, okay? Sound good? All right, fair enough. So, what I want to do is grow my streams. And why do I really want to grow my streams? Because I know that YouTube is a sinking ship. I've had discussions with my partnership company and other parties regarding YouTube and my YouTube channel. And the bottom line, everyone's impression is there's no way I could get DSP Gaming to grow. It's done. Even if I were to change the formula of what I do on DSP Gaming to be longer videos, edited videos, nothing's going to work. Basically, what I'm being told by every single person of influence is Let's Plays and Let's Players, people who do video game playthroughs, cannot make a living on YouTube anymore. It's done. That era is over. You need to be a drama guy. You need to watch reaction or make reaction videos. You need to jump on the dramatic bullshit trends of YouTube in order to make a living doing it anymore. So that whole era of people putting out great gameplay is done, except for the top guys. The top guys have so many viewers and so many subs, they're insulated. But for guys like me around mid to lower level, there's no way, even if I changed completely what DSP Gaming was, and I became the montage edited guy that people have told me is popular on YouTube, and I did silly thumbnails with my face on them, right? And I edited out all the boring and the fails, and I just had these montage style gameplay videos that were 30 minutes or longer. Literally, people have told me, don't bother. You will not see an increase on DSP Gaming because your channel, where it is on YouTube, it is on YouTube. It's not going to change. You won't see a jump in the algorithm. Just keep doing what you're doing and plug away, and that's going to be your best bet. So I don't see any reason to even try to do anything, to grow my YouTube presence. But Twitch is the complete polar opposite. So many people have told me in the last year, Phil, I've heard all this negative shit about you on the internet and YouTube, so I wanted to give you a shot. I came and checked your stream out for myself, and I loved it. You seem like a down-to-earth guy. You're relatable. You're funny. You can play games and have fun and share honest opinions. Your streams are not all drama and shit-talking. You're not constantly ripping every game developer a new asshole or swearing like a sailor. Your streams are fun and popular, for the people who know that. And honestly, a lot of people have told me in the last year I should be way more popular than I am, but because of the crazy amount of slander and defamation on the internet about me, most people won't check out my stuff and give me a chance. So there you go. If anything, if more people would come in and watch the streams and say, wow, and then go out and spread the honest word of mouth about how it is, I think that this channel would be growing exponentially. But for now, I am enjoying the growth that I'm having. And my goal is to make Twitch become my main form of income to the point where it's enough from Twitch to pay my basic bills, the utilities, the cost of the games, all the things that it costs for me to pay my bills and keep my house and everything. And then if YouTube ad revenue exists and is good, great. It's the icing on the cake that I can use to do other stuff, but it's my side thing. If DSP Gaming gets suspended again, it's not, oh my God, the roof is on fire. What the fuck am I going to do because I'm making no money today? Instead, it's, okay, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Let's have a fun stream on Twitch to keep stuff going. You know what I mean? So let's see. Let's see what happens. And again, I am open to feedback. I want to listen to you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say about improvement on Twitch to make stuff better. So I'm all ears. You want to share it on social media? You want to send me emails? Whatever. I need suggestions because really I want to make my Twitch channel grow this year. But by the way, I also don't want to put it in jeopardy where it's going to get shut down because then there's no income there and then I'm really screwed. The bottom line is if I can make my Twitch grow and I can make enough money to pay my taxes this year, I'm in a good position. But I need to get there. You see what I mean? Let's do some shout outs and then I got a final topic to talk about. All right. And then we're going to take a break. Fair enough? Okay. Some shout-outs. So, shout-out to Be The Anonymous. Don't know who this is. They tipped me $5 and said, thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077 going first-person style of gameplay as opposed to third-person. Keep up the good work. As I said on pre-stream, I'm going to talk about that in my E3 segment. I appreciate the $5 tip. I am going to be talking about Cyberpunk, so don't worry. But I'm not going to answer it now because that would be jumping the gun. However, I am going to get you up here on the leaderboard. So thank you very much for that tip. I appreciate it. Okay. Alrighty there. Shout out to Geek Room, who did a 50-bit cheer. He says, your son's death was not fatal. Yeah, what game was it recently? Oh, it was Vampire, right? Where it says something about death was not fatal. What? It was just the worst dialogue. But anyway, that was a cool insider reference there. Thank you for the cheer, Geek Room. A big bumbling black man cheer. He said, despite the circumstances, you should do a celebratory toast for clearing the state taxes and drink some of that grape kickstart. Celebratory toast for being done with the goddamn back taxes on the state of Washington. Here we go. Everyone, if you have a drink, raise your glass with me, or your can, or your chalice, or your flute, whatever it is that you may drink from. Let's have a celebratory toast of being done with that fucking shit. Salud. Okay. Shout out to Apollo Raps, who did a 25-bit cheer. Thank you. Austin cheers says, I love the interactivity of Twitch. I do as well. Anonysaurus Rex cheers says, can you impersonate Popeye? I am what I am, but it's all that I am. Uno Andom cheered. And he says, will I do a collab stream with Wings of Redemption? No. Atlas Telemon cheered. He says, Phil, being really honest because the trolls, I hardly ever actively shared your content via social media due to possible repercussion. You're right. Now, here's the deal. I get more trolling than anyone else. I do. I get more trolling than anyone else because I'm the subject matter, right? However, even with all the trolling that you guys tell me I get, I don't see any of it. Because now I've gotten to the point, so many scumbags have basically trolled me on the internet, they're all either blocked or muted. So when I tweet and someone says, man, Phil, people are really nasty to you on Twitter, I'm like, I don't see it. I tweet out something productive, and I don't see any of the negativity. I just see people who are being, positive interactions, because all those people have been long blocked and banned. And the other good news is, that's good, because when I tweet something and people tell me I see people being negative, I'm like, I don't see it. That means that no newcomers are actually being negative, because I would still see them, right? The bottom line is, it's that same group of like 1,000 people who are just so fucked in the head and so negative over stuff in regards to me, that they slam me and stuff, but they're all gone. Like, I blocked or banned them all. I don't see any of that shit anymore. And also, there were a few people who were other YouTubers who were bringing negative influence to my social media, and they quit social media, so that was a big boom too. Kate cheered, says, cheers to you, I'm proud of you. Thank you, Kate. And AES cheered, he said, I finally started to play Kingdom Hearts 1, pretty good so far. The ship mechanics are a pain in the ass. I agree, the gummy ship is a pain in the ass. Alright, now, the last thing I have to talk about, sadly, guys, is not good news. It's shitty news. And the thing is, much like a lot of the times when I talk about these things, I can't give you any specifics right now. I wish I could. Imagine last year, if when all the tax stuff was going on, if I told you the whole situation before it had even been determined what was going on, it would have been a nightmare. People would have trolled me and everything. All right. The other night, I made a tweet. And I said, after almost losing DSP Gaming, something else negative really happened, and it was killing me in my head, and I wanted a way. I was asking people, how can you just relax? Is there a way meditation? Does anyone have suggestions on how to relax? Because it was really, there was something on my mind that was bothering me, and I needed to relax. And a lot of people are like, what is it? What is this news? And like I said, I can't really tell you guys. I can't really tell you at all what the situation is around it, because I'm not sure what the situation is. What I can tell you is the following, all right, before we even get into it, all right? What I can tell you is the following. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm facing a situation where I have done absolutely nothing wrong. Now, if I actually had done something wrong, I would fess up to it, but I'm in a situation, and no, it's not taxes. Thank God it's not taxes. Fuck, if it were taxes, I would lose my hair right now. I'd probably go instantaneously bald. But no. I'm in a situation where I've done nothing wrong. I've been told I've done nothing wrong, and I'm not in the wrong, but very shortly I may be having a very negative consequence. Okay? Basically, an action that's going to be taken against me that I can't help. I have no control over it. I have no real factor in the determination of what's going to happen, and I have no way to solve the problem. Okay? I know that's incredibly vague, and I did that on purpose because this is a developing situation. I'm in a situation. Holy shit, I got a giant tip. Wow. All right, I'm going to do a shout out to that in a moment. I'm in the middle of something serious. Thank you, whoever did that. I'll thank you very much. But let me finish this up before I get to that giant tip that I was just given. Holy crap. I'm in a situation where it might not. We're not to that point yet. I just want to let everyone know it's not doom and gloom right now. It's not. And right now, I'm coming to my streams every day with a feeling of positivity and fun, and I want to keep that going. But I'm in a situation where things could be very uncertain again very soon. And I know it sucks because every time there's a hurdle, I fight it, I jump over it, there's another hurdle. I just said this last week. I said with DSP Gaming, right? I was in a tax situation, the tax situation's resumed, then DSP Gaming gets suspended, DSP Gaming comes back, and now this. And it's like, I never have a day when I could just sleep soundly and say, wow, I don't have back taxes that I owe and I'm behind on. I'm not behind on any bills. I don't have to worry about my bank account being overdrawn. No one's trolling me and trying to shut down all my content and my channels. I'm not in jeopardy of losing my Twitch streams. I'm not in jeopardy of losing my YouTube channel. I haven't had a night of sleep without stress like that since I moved here. So that's over 4 straight years. All right? 4 straight fucking years where my life's kind of been like this. And I know I hate it. I always say it's a roller coaster ride of drama, and I don't want it. I don't want the drama. But the bottom line is, I was contacted last week by a party, and I was told that there's something in the works that's not a definite, but if this does actually happen, which again has nothing to do with me, nothing I've done wrong at all, all right, could very negatively affect me in a big way, in particular, money-wise. And I'm like, I just got past the tax situation, right? I'm just at the point, back taxes are paid. Now I can work only on the federal taxes. I can focus positively on this situation and not have to worry. And then I get this news again. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I had a board right now. I would punch right through it like a fucking karate master. Because I'm just so angry that I can't ever have rest. Why can't I just be here and enjoy what I'm doing? I know I hate it. I'm tired of talking about the fucking money. I'm tired of it. And it's not anything you guys did wrong. And it's nothing I did wrong. You can't fix it. I can't fix it. It's just a fucked up situation. Okay? And that's pretty much the most I can tell you at this point. The only silver lining here to all of this is that it may not happen. It's not a given. It's not a definite. It's a maybe. But I'm being told that it's something that if it does happen, could happen as soon as this week and would basically start affecting me within a couple of months. And it's to the point where it's like, now, again, how am I going to know? Am I making enough to even just pay my basic bills, let alone taxes? Am I going to make enough money to cover my stuff? And I don't want to put this burden on you guys. I want you to understand the reason I'm telling you this is not because now I expect that people will say, oh, Phil's in trouble, let me throw him money. That's not the point. The point is I just went through an hour-long segment explaining to you guys everything going on with me. And I want to be upfront and honest with you now that we're on a podcast where this is not going to negatively affect the gameplay stream. I want to get it off my chest so you guys know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to bring this up often. And if and when something does finally go into effect, which it won't be immediate. So even if I find out it's going to happen, the effect probably won't be immediate. Okay? So I will let you guys know, moving forward, what happens when I have definitive information and when it's the right time. Right now is not the right time, but just so you guys know, I am stressed out. And again, another situation on top of another fucking situation, and it's just ridiculous that my life never settles. I told my parents about it. My mom was like speechless. She's like, it's like, what did you do in your life to deserve this? She's like, did you mass murder some people that I don't know about, or did you burn down a village in Nicaragua? Were you an oil baron somewhere and you just plowed through a fucking rainforest? You know what I mean? Like, what did you do? Because it's just nuts that it's always something. There's always something, And I just don't know, man. It sucks. But that being said, all right, I'm going to do my best to stay positive. I'm going to do my best to put out entertaining streams for you guys on a daily basis. Like I said, I'm not going to be bringing this subject up often. I know that when the tax situation happened last year, you guys got just so tired of hearing about it, and I agree with you. I don't want this to become a personal burden for you guys constantly or anything like that. All right. So there you go, guys. The bottom line is I'll let you know if and when stuff develops and when I can talk about it. I can't right now, but the best thing that you can do is just keep doing what you're doing. Come on out to the streams daily, enjoy them, have fun, participate, make it a fun social, experience. Tell other people how good it is on streams and that it's not how other people negatively say it is. And hopefully things will continue to grow. If my Twitch can keep growing, hopefully no matter what this ends up being financially, then maybe it won't matter, right? But the bottom line is we got to keep that positivity and keep the growth going. If it gets stagnant, or if I fuck up and I do something bad, or if drama happens and people don't like the streams anymore, then that's just going to be negative for everyone all around. So that's why I don't want that. I don't want this to become the Phil drama show every day. Let's hear the new update on taxes. Let's hear. The good thing is it's not taxes. Thank God I could finally stop saying the fucking term taxes, right? So that being said, even when I have more info for you guys, I'll let you know. Right now, it's way too early for me to say anything, but I will let you know, okay? Shout-outs. And then it's time for a break. The first segment's over. That took an hour to get through. Wow. So let's do some shout-outs, guys. First of all, I got an anonymous $300 tip. Holy shit. Thank you, whoever did that. Thank you. I am incredibly appreciative. That is a crazy huge contribution. And, I mean, did I expect that on today's podcast? Of course I didn't. Thank you very much. Their message, they said, here's what they said in the tip. They said, Happy Summer Xmas. But it was anonymous. So, I mean, obviously, thank you. I just wish that maybe you had gotten a little bit more out of it. Hopefully, my daily gameplay streams and the stuff I put out, you feel is enough to warrant that kind of a contribution. So thank you very much. Wow. Thank you. Is that going to help? Yes, that's going to help huge. So thank you very much. Okay. Then shout out to Fish Fosh 27, who cheered and said, I've noticed most of the sub emotes are negative. Can we have more positive ones? Listen, if you guys ever have suggestions on new emotes or new content in general for the streams, I'm all ears. You know, people all the time. People in particular, there were 3 emotes that weren't being used a lot, and people said, you know, Phil, you play Street Fighter. You said you're going to be playing Street Fighter at least once a week moving forward with the new collection. Can we get some Street Fighter emotes? And we did. We ended up getting all these new Street Fighter related emotes that people use all the time and like. I'm open. I'm all ears. If there's emotes you guys feel don't get used and you want to have more positive style emotes, let me know. I'd be more than happy to work with people like Popsicolo in particular. Made some really awesome emotes for this channel. I'd be more than happy to listen. You know, I am very receptive to feedback. Let's put it that way. Shout out to oh my goodness, it's a very long name. Dalil Green Runner Eater 499. There you go. And he said, shout out to Cat. All right, very nice. Thank you. Chris Huncho tipped me $5. He says, this is out of the subject. I remember watching your Assassin's Creed 2 playthrough in 2010. From part 1, I literally to the last part. I couldn't buy and play it myself because I was still in high school, so keep up the good job. Longtime fan here, 9 years running. Wow. 9 years. Thank you for sticking in there, and thanks for the positivity. And obviously, thank you for the tip. Appreciate that. Anonymosaurus Rex cheered. He said, babynames.com. This has nothing to do with babies. Because I know people are speculating in the stream chat. Phil got someone pregnant or something. Nope, that's not it. Alice Telemon, excuse me, I jumped the gun. Getting Destroyed subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Getting Destroyed, for the sub. Atlas Telemon cheered. He says, maybe you could do an IRL stream where you talk chronologically about your entire Street Fighter history and experiences. I mean, I don't know. Like, really, when I went through the history of Street Fighter, that project went through my history of Street Fighter in the 90s. And I guess what I could do is tell you about how I played those games in arcades and the like. But I don't know realistically how much fun that would be for the viewer. I don't know. That certainly could be an interesting series that takes quite a long time to get through. So, interesting idea. Thank you, Atlas. I'll have to think about that. Brown is back at 100-bit cheer. He says, I'm spreading the positivity. Hope the current situation isn't so bad. Thank you, Brown is back, for that support. And Apollo Raps did another 25-bit cheer. Thank you, Apollo Raps. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking for over an hour straight. Let's take a break. When I come back from break, it's going to be the big E3 segment where I talk the best and worst of E3. Plus, I talk a little bit about Nintendo's recap because I think people want to hear my opinion about the Nintendo Direct conference. It wasn't really a conference, right? Oh, here we go. Fish Fosh just cheered again. He says, you know, for those positive emotes he suggested, how about a DSP cheer or a DSP happy emo? I could see that. Like, I'm happy, happy face, or, so I think that could be pretty cool. I don't know, people would have to find that, you know what I mean? People would actually have to find those emotes or that picture to turn into an emote somewhere. But I think that could be pretty good. All right, let's take a break. When I come back from the break, the big E3 segment, I'll cover the best and worst and all that jazz. It's probably going to be a long segment, all right? So for those who liked my E3 coverage, you should like this segment. It's going to even go more into detail than that. and we'll go from there. Thanks so far, everyone, for being so supportive. Appreciate it. And I'll see you in a few minutes if you're watching here live on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, this video is going to end, and you can just watch the next video. All right, thanks, everyone, and I'll be back shortly.